Greetings, my fellow gamers. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Get Rexx't, and welcome to yet another episode of Let's Quest. Now, it's been a while since our last episode. It's really been. There's been a lot of Watch Dogs. There's been a lot of Here's with the Storm on my channel recently. So I figured it was about time to do. It was about time to do an episode of Let's Quest. And for today's episode, I decided to talk about a rather recent update, as this video here is getting recorded. I think it's under 12 hours since the hotfix was pushed with this, and it is in regards of a recent change done to some of the overall meta achievements required to get. It was the Glory of the Pandaren Raider achievement, which awards the Heavenly Crimson Cloud Serpent, and the Glory of the Dragon Soul Raider, which is required to obtain the Twilight Harbinger mount. Now, the thing is that just recently, 12 hours ago, I'll leave a link in the description down below, there was pushed a hotfix which removed some of the required achievements to obtaining these mounts from the overall meta achievement. Now, the removed achievements was, for the Glory of the Dragon Soul Raider, was the Holding Hands achievement, which, for those of you who have no clue about what that is, was an achievement which required you to. It was about that's the fourth boss within the Dragon Soul raid, to which was Hagra the Stormbinder, and there's a face there to which where there's a bunch of lightning conduits up, and you would need to chain them together. And unless you were a hunter, this would require 2 players pretty much to complete. It was pretty hard to solo as a hunter even, so you would need 2 players to complete it. And then there was an achievement called Show Me Your Moves from Mogoshan Vaults, which was an even harder achievement, which required you to dodge a boss's special attack in a specific order. And yeah, I did the achievement myself. It was hell on earth. I know, it was really, really hell on earth. But the thing which bothers me about Blizzard removing these achievements is that we've had an expansion now, and I know Legion is coming up, and Legion is hopefully killing off this entire garrison thing that we have seen and dreaded so much in Warlords of Draenor. But we have had so many people, myself including, complaining about the current state of the social aspect in this game. How, like, we feel that the community has become more insocial than previously because of the garrisons. Now, I would say that, again, it's not all garrisons' fault, but I see how garrisons, as like our major hub in Warlords, has locked a lot of people inside, and it hasn't been a lot of social interaction throughout this expansion. It really hasn't been. And while so many people has been complaining about this, I felt that it would be a necessity, a really big necessity, for us to keep what little things we still have in this game in order to keep social interaction. Now, among these, I would say, are achievements like this. Now, although I know that the Holding Hands can be done with 2 people, you would usually find bigger groups of people to do it, because there is usually more than one who was stuck and hadn't completed that achievement. And same goes for Show Me Your Moves. There's still people out there who hasn't completed it. I've seen people trying to form groups for it, and done so successfully. I myself had to do it in order to get the achievement done. And I feel that when Blizzard removes things which requires you to gather people to, in at least some way, socially interact, I feel that just becomes a bit back forth. And there's been a lot of people going forward saying that, oh, this is a positive change because now I don't need to find a group about this. Well, okay, fine. I'll let you say that it's a positive thing. But I really, really hope you're not one of those people who has already in this expansion's period complained about social aspects getting killed, and then see things like this happen as if it was a positive thing. Now, I, for one, am completely for that we keep as many things in this game as possible to keep the social aspect going. I mean, like, this game would be boring if it was a single-player game. I mean, like, this entire massive world, and it would only be you to film it. Ain't so fun. So I, for one, feel that we should try to keep hold on the few things we have left that would bring people together, and among these things were, for instance, achievements like Holding Hands and Show Me Your Moves. Now, again, for most parts, a lot of people just... I hope I didn't press the wrong button now and he sends me... Yeah, he sends me over there. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. Where was I? I was talking about... Yeah, anyway, going back to the points. I feel that we should try to maintain the few things we have left. Now, if Legion brings on and we get a lot more social interaction compared to this expansion, at least in Legion, then okay, sure, I assume it would have been made amends for. I know that the start of the next expansion is going to be a giant scenario. I think it was 40. I'm not sure if it was just 40 man or 40 allies, 40 hordes fighting together, invading the Broken Shores on the Broken Isles. But even so, despite that, despite like things like that getting added, I think that we shouldn't remove, I think that Blizzard shouldn't remove previous things. Now, if there's really been so many out there complaining about the current state of how things are, so much so that Blizzard decided to remove an achievement, I think that we've been going at this from the wrong, really the wrong angle, because I, for one, thought it was a bit fun. Like, the holding hands achievement in itself was kind of boring, but the show me your moves achievement was actually a bit funny to do. Of course, if you wind up in a group where there's like this one person always screwing the achievement over, then fine, but people are, sorry to say, people are replaceable in that manner. If someone keeps screwing the achievement up, then sure, I can see why you would want to switch something out, and it's not all that fun. But then again, I see no reason as to why it should be removed. It was something which would still bring, if not many, just a couple of people together. And although that sounds like nothing, in the long run, when you need to bring a couple of people together over and over, because of course there's going to be people in this game who hasn't completed the achievement, you'll make some of that social aspect, some of it is still there, and you aren't completely trying your best to kill it out. Now again, if Legion as an expansion removes the entire garrison thing, I really hope that class halls isn't going to become like a semi-replica of the garrisons. Now, I know that class halls is just going to contain your class and your class alone, which of course brings for a lot of interesting themes and matters. But even so, we'll see. A lot of people spoke highly about how Warlords of Draenor will be this amazing expansion, like, would it save World of Warcraft, and yada yada yada. And we were so positive to many of the things as they first appeared. Now, there's people who would tell me that saying that garrisons was a good concept that was poorly pulled through. People have said that that's bullshit. No, it ain't. It just ain't. It was a really good concept idea. It really, really was. But it was performed and executed in a really, really bad manner. It was indeed. And by one of the major means, is that people felt as if they were locked up. Now again, being inside your garrison is of course entirely your choice. There's like no force on this planet which forces you to stay inside your garrison, but it is where most of the things relevant to this expansion took place. Yeah, sure, you had your occasional raid, going out to do your legendary ring chain, etc, etc. But even so, there was a lot of garrison time in this expansion. They're really, really... Oh, shit. Hey! Getting ganked! Think you're doing, bitch? Level 61 and can't beat a level 58? Piss off! Sorry for that, my fellow gamers. It gets hard for me to talk when I'm interacting in PvP combat. But anyway, back to the point that we were trying to get going on to. So, yeah. I still, for one, think that we should maintain these achievements in the game, or at least in some way have them as... It would be a bit difficult to have them as an option. Like, they're there, and of course achievement hoarders would want to go back and get them, and that would still require a group, but I don't think you will be able to get as many in on getting the achievement just for the sake of collecting the achievement, compared to the amount of people you would get gathered to obtain the mount. Now, the mounts rewarded from these achievements are of course pretty decent, or at least the Twilight Harbinger is so, but the Heavenly Crimson Cloud Serpent is an amazing mount, I will admit. So I can see the charm of people wanting the mount, of course I can, I really, really do. I myself as a mount collector would guilt to get mounts, so you have that. But even so, I still think that is a bit unnecessary to remove the overall achievements required for it. I myself found it, again, a bit funny when we did the Show Me Your Moves achievement, and that's pretty much because it's a clusterfuck of an achievement to complete if you don't have a well-coordinated group. And, of course, it made for some frustration, you know, someone was yelling a bit, someone got a bit mad, and so on. But even so, in the long run, it was a bit cool because it was a bunch of us doing it together. It was a interaction between players. We had to work together as a team. We had to do things as a collective in order to actually complete the achievement. And I feel that's an important part of games like World of Warcraft, that we keep the social interaction as high as we can. And with an expansion like this, where so many people has felt locked up inside their garrisons, I'm not actually, I'm not smiling seeing that things like that is getting removed. Sure, people can argue with that, oh, it's easy for you to say because you already have completed the achievement. Well, yes and no, but even so, I can track back to when I did the achievements, and then again, I'll say that it wasn't all that bad. It's not hard getting groups for these achievements. There's always someone out there who hasn't completed them, and if you can't find them in trade chat, then we have groups like, no, not groups, but web pages like OpenRate, for instance, to help you gather people up to complete these kind of achievements. It can all be done really, really easily and smoothly as long as you put just a smidge of effort into it. Not a lot of effort, just a teensy-weensy little bit. Just a dash of effort, and you'll have it going. Now, it might also just be me over-exaggerating a bit, because I haven't, like, been super active, or, well, I've been semi-active this expansion, compared to what I was in, Mr. Pandaria at least. I've been more active. But even so, I didn't really feel that giant garrison holding me back pressure, but that was because mostly when I was online, I was rather leveling something, I was doing PvP with some friends, or I was just strolling around, doing my own thing. Like this, like these videos and so on. So, wait, I forgot something? Ah, Warp Nether. I should go and get that. But yeah, I for one feel that we should cling on to what little things we have left. Again, unless Legion totally changes it and the game becomes like super socially focused again, and we have like things all over the place to which where people will need to gather up all the time to do, that maybe, just maybe. I don't know. I don't think that raiding and PvP alone is enough for somebody, and especially people who complains about that, oh, I don't have the time to do raids, or I don't have the time to do PvP in that way, you know, and if that's the case for you, then, you know, if you know, warp rifts. Alright. I don't even know what that does, but sure. Okay. So, thing spawns. There we go. That's how it's done now. Yeah, so if you don't have the time to do regular PvE or PvP, then if you sometime, for some reason, should get that urge, you know, get that mount or something like that, then why on earth would you want to, like, go on and remove the one aspect that will bring people together to do so? Again, it might just be me over-exaggerating. It usually is, but I just think it's a bit stupid when things like that gets removed solemnly because people think it's hard to complete it alone and it's stupid, you know, it's outdated content. Even so, even if it's outdated content, it's something which brings a reason for people to actually get together and do stuff in this game. Okay, you didn't try to mess with me, so I'm not gonna mess with you. Even so, I just feel that it's a bit unnecessary. Might just be me, might not be. I, for one, would like to see it return one day, or, like, in future raids where we will have meta achievements like that, acquiring us mounts and so on. Maybe Blizzard should think it a bit more true and not add things, which would eventually make people look back on it in future expansions and think that, oh, this is just a pissy achievement because I can't do it alone. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure myself. I just think that we should do what we can in this game to socialize. It's like, I get a bit sad from seeing people don't wanting to do things like that. Like, now I need to roll a hunter because I can't do that holding hands achievement alone. Just get a group. You didn't hear people say that for some years ago. You didn't hear that. People actually got together and did shit. We were some social motherfuckers and we were actually happy to be so. I'm not gonna bring down the entire back in my days classic WoW thing, because that's getting a bit old. It's stupid. But yeah, catch my drift. I hope some of you at least sees my point in this. I don't see why we should kill off some of the things we have that brings a social aspect to the game. I don't see why we should. Again, this might just all be long dead, gone, and forgotten in the next expansion. We don't know yet. We'll have to see. Again, how good Legion is going to be as an expansion, I'm not even gonna say what I think, because it can change. I had so high thoughts for Warlords, and I had so many thoughts for both Cataclysm and Mists of Pandaria, and they all took different types of turns. So we'll see. We'll simply see. If Legion brings on and we get more of a social interaction aspect back in other means. because might just have been two achievements, But even so, those two achievements, they were something that would bring some people together for some social interaction, at least some. Noel, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can say that, oh, well, show me your moves, it's just a giant pain in the ass with a bunch of randoms. Even so, I'm not sure. Maybe you got to know someone when he did show me your moves? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Got to know this one guy who was a rogue. I don't like rogues. And there you have it. It's just my personal thought, and I felt that I wanted to share it, basically. I was thinking about doing some of these rant type of videos, but then I realized that if I put all of my rantish terms out there on the go, then I would stand without anything to do on this channel for the next couple of years. My plan is to keep this channel kicking until the day I die, or until the day WoW dies. Which either one goes down first. But yeah, there you have it. I was just a little semi-rant personal opinion thing out there on social aspects of this game. Again, I really hope that no one out there sits and says that, oh yes, now I can do this achievement all my own, and then you look back on it and you have complained about garrisons killing the social aspect of this game. You're really going against yourself by doing that, and I don't like people who goes against themselves. I do that a lot, but I'm an exception because I'm an ass. Kinda. Ish. But yeah. But there you have it, and that's gonna pretty much be it for today's Let's Quest. Trying to keep the episodes down to 15 minutes-ish, compared to what they've been recently, like closing up to 20-25 minutes. I think that's a bit too long for Let's Quest episodes, but hey, might just be me. I'm actually going to take a flight path and fly back to Thrallmore, because I forgot to do that achievement up there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode of Let's Quest. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you have any personal opinions yourself on the removal of these achievements, or the social aspect overall in the game at the moment, or how you think it might be in Legion, then leave a comment about it down below. I hope I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you all so much for watching, and until the next time, my fellow gamers, have a good one.